And 1 plus 1 plus 4 is 5.
6.
And thank you, Math Dad. Everyone should have a Math Dad with them when they're doing math.
I'm Math Dad,
I'm Science Mom.
and today we're talking about how to multiply big numbers.
Ooh.
But before we get to the content, let's go over our warm-up problem. So we had to use the numbers 3, 7, 2, and 4 to make 6. How'd you do, Science Mom?
I found 2 solutions, although I will say I was having a hard time with this one, so I paused it, which is completely allowed, and then I found 2 ways to do it. So 7 minus 2 is 5, and 4 minus 3 is 1. 5 plus 1 is 6, that's my first solution, and then I also realized that 7 minus 3 is 4, and 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then if we have 4 plus 2, that is 6 as well. So those are my 2 solutions.
Well done, Science Mom. The only other thing I had was a slight variation on this one. If we had done the 7 minus 3 divided by 2 and then added the 4, that would give us 6.
Ooh, because, yeah, that's
Either
fun.
way, you get a 4 divided by 2 and then plus a 4. So, yep. So hopefully at home you were able to come up with a solution on your own, but if not, at least your brain is warmed up, but we'd love to see your solutions down in the chat.
Comments.
The comments.
Now it's time for some multiplication practice. I have to admit I'm a little bit rusty on this, so I'm glad I'm getting some practice in.
All right. So here goes. We have 5 times 7. So we start over the far right, the units digits. 5 times 7 is 35. So I'm going to put the 5 here and the 3 here. And I'll say in subsequent videos, we're going to talk a little bit more about where this algorithm is coming from. But we just want to make sure that we have the algorithm down. And we're hoping that you've seen this before and that this is review. 4 times 7 is 28.
And then I need to add 3 to it.
Okay.
So 28, 29, 30, 31.
Okay, so I'm going to put the 1 here, bring the 3 up top for the 30.
31.
All right, 3 times 7 is 21, plus the 3 more, so 24. 4 down bottom, bring the 2 up. 9 times 7 is 63, plus 2 more. Should bring us up to 65, and I'll put in my comma right there. 65,415. So that this procedure of you multiply and then you carry the tens digit up above your next number, I mean that's going to happen every time.
Okay.
Ooh, but what if we had a 2-digit number on bottom?
Then we add a 0 and slide the bottom part over. That's how I remember learning how to do it.
Okay, yes. So for the first step, you're going to kind of pretend that this number's not here. Write it out. I like it. So 7 times 3 is 21. I put the 1 here. I carry the 2. 6 times 3
is 18,
18.
Plus 2 more is 19, and then 20.
Okay, so I would write it like that. And now we're going to, you said, we've dealt with this 3, so we have a 30 left. There's nothing left there. But to deal with the fact that there's a 0 here, we put it down below.
Oh.
All right. Now 7 times 3, once again, is 21. Carry the 2. 6 times 3
is
18.
Plus 2 is 20.
Okay. So then we're going to add those two together. 1, 1, 2, and 2. 2,211.
Very nice. And what if we have 3 digits on the bottom? Well, I guess we're just going to do the same thing, right? Now we're going to slide things over 2 places because it's the hundreds place and we need 2 zeros.
Now we are going pretty fast here, and I want to just point out something. Usually when the teacher does something, they make it look so easy. And how are they able to make it look so easy? Well, they have their addition and multiplication facts down. If you know your basic times tables, then these bigger problems become much easier. And conversely, if you don't know your basic times tables, boy, these are going to be very difficult problems. So it's worth doing those drills to learn them.
That's right, because if you practice, it gets easier.
That's right. Okay, so now we kind of ignore the 4 and the 4 here. We just do the top number times 9. So 1 times 9
is 9.
7 times 9
is 63.
63, so bring the 6 up. 5 times 9?
45.
45 plus the 6.
That's 51 now.
51, good. 2 times 9?
18.
Plus the 5?
23.
23, good.
I counted on my fingers, and that is okay.
It absolutely is. All right, I'm going to erase those numbers because we're now moving on to this 4 here, kind of pretending those other 2 aren't there. All right, so 4 times, we put a 0 there. 4 times 1?
And we put the 0 there because really it's like we're timesing by 40,
40.
right?
That's exactly right.
4 times 1 is 4.
All right, 4 times 7
is 28.
28, so I carry the 2. 4 times 5 is 20.
Plus 2 is 22.
22, I carry the 2. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 2 more
is 10.
10. All right, and now we're dealing with this last 4, which is really a 400. So to deal with the fact that it's 400, we put 2 zeros there, and then we multiply. And here's a trick for you. We just did 4 times that top number. So I'm just going to take the number that we got on our last answer, and I'm going to write those digits here. Because I'm going to get the same number, right?
You are.
All right. Now we just have to add up those values. 9 plus 0 is 9. 3 plus 4 is 7. 1 plus 8 plus 4 is 13. Let's carry the 1. 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 8 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 is 5. 1, 1. Stick my commas in the appropriate places. And
that is a big number.
It is. 1,154,379.
Woo!
It's okay to slow down and take your time on these problems. Just because we're doing it fast doesn't mean that you need to be the fastest. It's much more important to try to get the right answer than it is to be the first one done.
And it is important to try and keep your numbers in columns, because that makes it a lot easier to add up.
It does. If you're sloppy with your work, you're going to make a lot more mistakes. And that's just going to take you a lot longer when you're making more mistakes, and it's frustrating for everyone. All right, Science Mom, are you ready to go solo?
I am. I remember how to do this. So I'm going to start with the ones placed right here, my 2. 2 times 5 is 10.
Good.
2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 2 times 0 is 0, so that's easy. Just bring that 0 right there. 2 times 3 is 6. Good. And now for my next row, for the 8 here, I am going to put a 0 here because 8 is in the tens column. And now I just do the same thing as I did before. 8 times 5. And you know 40. What? I think it helps to just cross off that top row to remind myself anything that I carried there was for the first digit, and now I'm on the second digit. 8 times 5 is 40, so I'm going to write the 4 there, and the 0 comes down here. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 4 is 36. 8 times 0
Is 0. Good.
is 0, plus 3 is 3.
Nicely done.
8 times 3 is 24. And now an eraser might be better. Do, 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 do.
Okay.
And now I do 2 zeros because I'm in my hundreds place right here with the 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry the 1 and put the 5 down there. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 3 times 0 is 0, but I have a 1 there. Plus 1 is 1.
Good.
And 3 times 3 is 9. So now we're going to add everything up. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 9 plus 0 plus 0 is 9. 6 plus 5 is 11. And then 6 plus, the 3 plus 3 is 6, is 12, plus 1 more is 13. And 1 plus 1 plus 4 is 5.
6.
And thank you, Math Dad. Everyone should have a Math Dad with them when they're doing math. And 2 plus 9 is 11. So, and since that is kind of sloppy and I can't quite read what I wrote, I'm going to redraw it a little nicer. 1163190, and then put in my commas. 1,163,190.
That's right. So when my students say, these problems are hard, do you know what I usually say to them? I say, do a few thousand of these and they all start seeming pretty easy.
A few thousand is a lot.
It is, but there's some truth to that. If you do this over and over, you're going to get better at it, just like any skill in life. And there's really not going to be a great shortcut. You're going to have to do the reps. If you want to build up that muscle, you've got to lift the weights.
A special thank you to our patrons who make this video possible. We could not produce these without their support. Head over to patreon.com/sciencemom to join us.
Get the worksheet down in the description. Keep practicing. Work hard, grow smart, and we'll see you next time.